Chivalry is dead. What men just aren't doing anymore. Okay, guys, can I issue you a challenge? Do you guys want to make a list of all the things that women aren't doing anymore? Because I think, if anything, they need to be told, like, hey, if you want us to come back and do this laundry list of things for you that we aren't doing anymore, you need to do all this other stuff you used to do for us again. Because we're not going to do this for free. Now, is chivalry dead? After a grown man practically trampled me to get on the bus recently, I'd be inclined to say yes. Who are you and why should he care about you? Oh, he was in a suit and fun socks. Boring finance bros tend to think quirky socks makes them look fun. His manager could have been a real bitch about socks. I say this from experience. When I worked at the defense contractor, when one of the managers was looking for a reason to complain about me, he literally called me into his office to bitch that the color of my socks didn't match my pants. And the entire time I'm like, well, dude, I didn't know you were gay. Like, sorry, I'm not into dudes though. I'm not gonna fuck you. But yeah, there are really stupid people like that out there. Yeah, fashion police much. No, okay, so that guy was just an idiot because they did this anonymous suggestion box thing that a lot of corpos do. And so the way this company did it is they did the anonymous suggestion box, and then every every other week there was this all hands meeting, and if there was anything in the suggestion box, they let people vote on it. So one day in the suggestion box, there was this long bitching essay about how the dress code has gotten too lax and we need my dress code again. And when the guy leading the meeting asked for a show of hands to see who's in favor, only this one guy raised his hand. I wonder who put that suggestion in there, huh? But I digress. I was unnerved by his rugby scrum approach to public transport. It was a bit much for the 8 a.m. and the buses come every 10 minutes, but I wasn't shocked. Now, this is a typical woman way to think right here. Oh, can't you just wait 10 minutes for the next bus? Yeah, well, maybe if you're not already running right on time or a little bit late, sure. It wasn't very chivalrous, but is that even a thing anymore? No, like Dave Chappelle said, chivalry is dead and women killed it. There's no women out there in the Western world anymore worth being chivalrous towards. If we had more traditional ladies, maybe we could have a few traditional men make a comeback too. So the ball really is in women's court. Like, they got to make the first move. Is men letting women go first on public transport a dead concept? Well, yeah, because you could do anything a man can do. You're strong and independent. You're equal. Did it die when we started advocating for fair pay and the rights to our bodies? Is the price of equality just that men aren't that polite anymore? Well, actually, yes. Do you realize what you're bitching about? You're bitching that men are treating you the same as if you were another man. That's literally what equality is. They're not treating you with any of the special privileges they used to. They're treating you as an equal. And now you're crying about it. I want equal pay and men to follow the Titanic rule of women's and children first. Yeah. So I want all the benefits, but none of the drawbacks. You guys could keep the drawbacks. Yeah. I want all the benefits you got without having to earn them or pay for them. You can keep doing that. Is it any wonder why no one takes these dumb 304s seriously anymore? At least this one openly admitted it. I want to have my cake and eat it too. I mean, not that you're asking for a history lesson, but to catch you up, the word chivalry originated in the Middle Ages, primarily referred to a code of conduct for knights. Yeah, and by the way, that code of conduct had like maybe 2 paragraphs in it pertaining to women. The entire rest of it had nothing to do with women. In modern times, it refers to being polite and showing kind, respectful behavior, usually towards women. That's true. such as holding the door open, allowing women to enter rooms first, and men often give up their seats on public transport. You realize that used to happen until women started having feminazi freakouts when men did this? You only need to experience like one time, like you hold the door open for a woman, and instead of being thankful, she screams at you like, "Well, you think I can't get the door myself? You think I'm that weak? You think I need you to do it for me?" You only need to experience that once, and you never make that mistake again. But sure, tell me again how it's men's fault. Does that still exist in current year, though, or is it a social norm we've outgrown? We've outgrown it. You got the equality you wanted. You're being treated like a dude. Congratulations. I hope that male privilege is worth it. When news.com.au hit Sydney streets to get answers, the response was fairly divided by gender. In general, men claim that chivalry still exists, and most whams admitted they didn't see enough of it anymore, if at all. I wonder what the reason for this disparity is. So I think both sides are lying, to be honest. Like the men are obviously gonna lie and they're gonna try to make themselves look better. Like, oh yeah, I totally still do all these things when they actually don't. And the women, on the other hand, I mean, I see this pretty much every day I go out. That look, the most men are still simps. Most men will still do all of this even though it's thankless, unfortunately. The number is, I mean, it might not even be most anymore. It might be a large minority, but times are slowly changing. But then from the women's side, like they literally blow everything out of proportion. So if they're used to a guy like pretty much doing everything for them 6 times a day, and it only happens 5 times a day once, all of a sudden chivalry's dead. So in a way, I think both sides are lying. I definitely think chivalry is dead. I think the attitude of men in general just isn't that great. One woman's proclaimed. You want to know why that is? Maybe if you were a woman worthy of having a good attitude directed towards her, maybe you'd get that. Have you considered that? I think so too, yeah. I don't see it as often as I should. Another whammon's echoed. Oh my God, my privileges are disappearing. Oh no. One young whammon's in a funky hat said that she didn't think it was dead, but conceded it's definitely changing. What does chivalry look like to her in current year? Well, less holding open doors and more making someone a Spotify playlist. Men, on the other hand, think it's still a thing. The simps, yes, they're all right about that. I think it's still there, and I think it should still exist. One young man argued, then admitted it had morphed. Well, yes, because again, just like women who claim to want a traditional man when they're not traditional women, there has to be a little bit of reciprocity here. Maybe if women treated men the same way they did when chivalry existed, you'd get more chivalry. Compared to how our parents saw it, is not where it used to be, he added. Yeah, look at the other side of that equation. Meanwhile, two young men responded with a firm and concise no when asked if they thought chivalry was dead. There were also quite a few men that declined to be filmed that admitted they thought chivalry was alive and well. So there's clear disconnect between men and women's on the subject. Yeah, I wouldn't have even talked to them, to be honest. Men think they are being chivalrous, but women say they just aren't seeing it in their daily lives, or if they are witnessing it, it's certainly not seeing enough of it. And that's the big catch. So, like I just said, a woman could see it 6 times a day, and then one time she sees it 5 times a day. Oh, chivalry's literally dead. It fascinates me that we've achieved men not opening doors for women far faster than we've achieved equal pay. So, is this woman admitting that the pay gap is resolved so you could stop using that myth? And why does this fascinate you? The reason men kept giving preferential treatment to women was because they got something out of it. But now that they get nothing out of it but attitude, yeah, of course they're going to stop doing it. I think what fascinates them is a lot of these women legitimately believed that men are controlled by their penises and there's no way they could ever break free from that. So when almost the entire male population collectively broke free from that, they're just in shock. But I have a vagina. You're supposed to do anything I ask for just the chance of maybe touching it. Why aren't you worshiping the ground I walk on anymore? In Stride, there's still a stark 12.1% gender pay gap. Yeah, once again, spreading this lie, spreading that myth. The conversation about chivalry is clearly part of the cultural zeitgeist at the moment. A woman's in Airstrip 1 posted a video of herself standing on the train and then filmed a bunch of men sitting while she stood, and it amassed millions of views. That's what we covered previously. That was a funny story. To explain what's going on, all of these women are losing the privilege that they got used to, and they view it as oppression. All that's happening is they're losing their privileges, and they this is equality. They're finally achieving equality. Men are treating women the same way they treat other men, aka as equals, equality. So they lost their privilege and now they're butthurt. She set the clip to Lord's song Man of the Year, which is being used on TikTok at the moment to call out poor behavior from men. People online were divided over the clip. A nice white pill is men don't care anymore. These guys have overused the shaming tactic. I think more guys are starting to wake up to what I've been saying for over a decade now, like literally among the earliest videos on my channel, that shaming only works if you actually care about the opinion of the person doing the shaming. If it's some random 304 on public transit that you're never going to see again after today, yeah, I couldn't care less what her opinion of me is. I'm not trying to impress her. Am I trying to get in her pants? No. Is she someone in my life regularly? No. Is she someone who has power over my life, like my boss or something? No. Then I don't give a fuck about her or her opinion. Her opinion is worth less than nothing to me. And many saw nothing wrong with men not standing up for women, suggesting that chivalry isn't a thing anymore. I'm confused. Are you pregnant, disabled, injured? If you aren't, they got there first and are total strangers. They don't owe you a seat. 100% end of discussion. Who the fuck are you that you feel that you're entitled to take my seat that I got first? And what's the issue here? Another asked. And men don't owe women anything, someone else argued. However, there were others who claimed the video as proof that chivalry is dead. Well, look, it is dead. I don't think anyone's going to argue against that. The real question should be, should anyone care? Does it matter? And the answer is no. Now, it affects all these women that are going to lose their privileges, but nobody else cares. And they push you out of the way to get their seats too, another said. You realize that when there's a mad rush to limited seats in public transit, everyone's pushing everyone. One woman claimed when I was pregnant, the same thing happened. Only old ladies would offer to give up the seat. Did you ask? The chivalry debate certainly isn't settled. No, I think it is. Chivalry is dead for the most part. Or if it's not dead, it's greatly diminished. The debate shouldn't be, is chivalry dead? The debate should be, does it matter that it is? Because in my opinion, I don't think there's any need to bring it back until we bring back traditional women. I am not willing to be a traditional man for a modern woman. Show me a traditional woman, though, I might reconsider. Now, at this point, I just settle for a grown man not elbowing me to get a better seat on the bus. Well, then maybe you should stand out of the way if you're not willing to participate in the mosh pit. But overall, I'm glad we're seeing more of these articles. They might finally be learning that they push too far. Although, like this author, I think they realize things are getting bad, but they're totally unwilling to accept any responsibility for it, though. Oh, no, this is all 100% because men are just bad. Okay. Keep saying that, and we're totally going to come back to you. Like, this literally is just like fans of American cartoons calling you a pedophile for liking anime. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, I'm going to hate anime now and go back to watching your slop. I'll do anything to prove to you random idiots on the internet that I'm not a pedo. No, that's not going to happen. As soon as you start with tactics like that, you're just going to galvanize them against you further. If I'm just sitting there enjoying my anime and someone calls me a pedo for it, I just immediately block them at this point. And you are an idiot whose opinion is worth nothing to me, and I'm going to remove you completely. And now you've lost all chance you ever had at trying to get me onto your side. Congratulations. And that's the same thing these women are doing now. Yeah, they're girl bossing too close to the sun, and they're even further driving men away to the point that, like, I don't think there's even a way back anymore. They've just ruined it.